Hey folks, it's instrument time. Today we're going to talk about the Larrivee Parlor. Now, Larrivee is a small family-owned company in Oxnard, California. Formerly, they were in British Columbia, in Vancouver. Before that, they were in Victoria, also Canada. Apparently, Gene Larrivee moved to Oxnard because he got tired of rain being measured in feet as opposed to inches. So, currently all Larrivees are made in the USA. Formerly they were made in both the USA and Canada, and before that just in Canada. So this here is the Larrivee Parlor. The Parlor was the brainchild of Matthew Larrivee. He built these in 1999, and he originally built just 200 of them and basically convinced the folks on the acoustic guitar forum, that was back during the Usenet days, to go out and buy them. They were uncertain if they would be popular or not, and so I went out and grabbed one of the very first ones made. So this is one of the very first 200 made. This is a aught size instrument, so a single aught. Despite the name Parlour, it should be noted, is more of a marketing term than anything else. It was colloquially used back in the 80s and 90s to describe smaller instruments that one might play in one's living room and parlor, but this was never actually a marketing term ever used historically. According to Martin Guitar, a aught size instrument is a concert instrument. So, but Parlour was popular at the time as a description, so the single aught size instrument Matthew Larrivee marketed as the Larrivee Parlor. So this one has a 24-inch scale length. It has a 1 11/16 inch nut. That was only done on the first 200. After that, they moved to 1 3/4, and I'm still a little annoyed at Matthew for that, because if I'd known, I'd have waited to get one with a slightly wider nut. Larrivees until 2018 had a compound radius, which meant that it tapers. So this one is 16 inches at the nut, and it goes down to 20 or 21 inches at the body, so it flattens as it gets down the fretboard. That's a feature normally only found on high-end boutique instruments. Larrivee did that on all their instruments, except their classicals, until October of 1918. This one is 12 frets clear of the body. Newer ones are available with cutaways. They do a Venetian style cutaway on these. Left-handed are available at no additional cost, because Gene Larrivee is left-handed, and so he's always had a policy that he would not charge extra to make left-handed versions. This does have a truss rod. Access is through the sound hole like a Martin, not up at the top like the Rain Song we discussed last week. What's cool about this, other than being one of the first 200 made, completely clean fretboard, so no fretboard markings on the front. Makes it look very classy. Again, this one was one of the first 200 made, special ordered. It came with no pickup. It didn't even come with a attachment point at the bottom. I've had a JJB 330 added to it that lets me put a strap on it, which I of course have tied hippie style because I actually prefer that. This one is a solid mahogany back and sides, solid citrus spruce top. After the first run, they were available in all sorts of wood combinations: rosewood, walnut, bubinga, whatever they had in stock. And as a result, because this was a smaller body style back in 2000 or 2001, you could get some fantastic wood sets on the Parlor that normally would be reserved for very high-end guitars, but because they were too small for a dreadnought or an orchestra model, they got put into Parlors. So this one is specifically an aught 01 or 001. The 01s are very plain. It has no binding, as you can see, either on the body or the fretboard. That helps reduce the cost of manufacture. Unfortunately, having no binding does have some disadvantages. As you can see, this one has a fairly large chunk missing from the top because the binding is there to protect the top. And I have, frankly, no idea where that chunk of wood is. I never found it. These originally came with gig bags, another cost savings effort. They now come with hard cases because the gig bag company they originally used no longer makes them. Despite the size, it's a fairly loud instrument. It's fairly responsive. Obviously, speakers, YouTube is never going to be exact, but everyone's quite surprised by how much sound comes out of this small of a body in a circle. And of course, it finger picks quite well as well. The best thing about this is it's small, it's portable. I used to take this to conventions all the time and just toss it in the back seat. Lately I've replaced this with carbon fiber instruments for travel simply because they're so much more durable, but this is a great guitar. Other than that, if you have any questions that I did not cover, leave a comment below. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. If you hate this content, well, then leave a comment below because the algorithm is all. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time on Instrument Time.